In this video, I'm going to answer a question. Does binge eating make you numb? So, I wasn't sure whether it was recording then, so I'm going to repeat the question. In today's video, I am talking about, does binge eating make you numb? In actual fact, any kind of destructive behaviors makes you numb. So whether or not it's consistent binge eating, compulsive eating, food addictions, drugs, alcohol, all them, even working too much, workaholic, things that you do to the extreme does make you numb. The reason being is that, just like what I say in all my other videos, is that the binge eating itself, it's not about the food. It's about how we're trying to deal with negative feelings. And it's not always negative feelings as in negative emotions. It's just those blank spaces, even those blank moments. So you don't have to feel to the extreme of anxious or depressed or stressed or sad. Even just being bored. What do you do in those blank spaces? And what has commonly happens when you develop a destructive behavior is just that we've not learned how to deal with these moments, those blank spaces. We all, especially in this day and age, we are brought up in a fast-paced environment. Especially with technology, a lot of us, especially maybe the millenniums, are not comfortable with their own company. Many things are driven by stimulation, just like TV and going out doing things, and especially with a lot of things that are available to us now, because it's so easy to get around places. So many of the times that we ignore the simple things of life, just like being in nature, talking and connecting with one another, these are the things kind of superseded, actually, if you think about it, with stuff. And what I mean with stuff is like fun things, taking the kids to a adventure park, take them to climbing, take them to jumping, watch video games, watch movies, go out and do stuff like go and eat at restaurants. And even though it sounds really great, all these things, when we don't do the exciting stuff, we're not used to it. When there's no TV and there's no Netflix and there's no cinema and there's it's raining outside, how many of you feel absolutely depressed when it's raining outside and you can't do anything? Because we're in this kind of era, in this time of evolution where every single moment, every single space is filled with stuff all the time. So, and how is that related to, does binge eating numb us? Well, it does, because in those small spaces of time, we end up filling those time with stuff that we can't fill with stuff. So if you can't go out to the cinema, you can't watch Netflix, you can't go to these adventure parks, you're just bored and you have to sit with yourself. Who wants to do that? And this is where we usually commonly use stuff like food to fill in those spaces. And why it makes us numb is because it's those blank spaces that we can't deal with, on top of the normal challenges. The normal challenges of life, of stress, of challenging moments that makes us sad and angry or anxious, or whatever those normal kind of emotions that brings up with living a normal human life. So when we can't handle even just the moments in between, and it's because it's those uncomfortable moments we're not used to, is when we start using food. And it may not numb you at the beginning. You may have memories of the times before you're binge eating. You may remember the times before you had any addictions, before you wanted the house all nice, sparkling clean, before the times that you were drunk all the time, or you wanted to always have something new every time you go out shopping. You may remember those times when it was easy to be happy. It was easy to be. Or you may not remember those times because you've done them for so long now that it's kind of hard to feel happy, because what these things, these addictions, the binge eating does after a while is that even though it numbs those uncomfortable feeling of those moments, on top of numbing those uncomfortable feelings of life challenges like being angry, stressed, anxious, sad, and the boring parts, because you've used food to numb yourself for so long, after a while you become numb. And I remember while I was suffering for over 22 years with back-to-back addictions, I didn't really know what true happiness was, what it felt like to feel free. I just felt numb. Even though I had those really, really crap moments when I did really have those days where I just binged and binged and binged, self-sabotage after self-sabotage. But even when there was moments where I wasn't, I still felt numb. Because for those times that I felt uncomfortable, I ate. And then it started seeping into the happy, or should have been happy, parts of my life. But because I felt so numb, even the happy moments felt, it's all right, I should be happy. I should be happy, I'm with my boyfriend. I should be happy, I'm with my family. I should be happy, I'm with people, having a lovely time out with everyone. We're going here. I should be happy, but why am I not happy? It's because of the time that you've been using food to numb out the emotions. And when you use food to numb out the negative emotions that you can't handle, including the little gaps in between, it doesn't say just numb out the negative emotions. It numbs out the happy emotions as well. So whenever you feel happy, or maybe you probably don't even know what happiness is because you've done it for so long, is because of the fact that you cannot separate the two. You cannot just numb the sad parts or the negative emotions without it seeping into the happiness. And that's probably why many people suffering, or I would say 99.9% of people suffering from destructive behaviors, feel numb. Because feeling numb is a false perception of it better than feeling the urges, feeling those negative emotions, because we're so scared to feel. So yes, my answer to the question is prolonged binge eating and prolonged destructive eating behaviors, whether it's back-to-back dieting, compulsive eating, emotional eating, any other addictions, prolonging of those behaviors does make you go numb. And if you want to stop feeling numb and actually discover happiness, true happiness, without food, without addictions, without compulsions, you know where I am. I am the Rapid Recovery Rebel, and I help hundreds of people recover from years and decades of binge eating and any other destructive behaviors from as little as one powerful sessions, because I help them find the root cause without doing any of the traditional therapy like meditation, breathing, tapping, journaling, and all those exercises, including meal plans. So until next time, I hope you got something out of that video, made you possibly made you have pause. And until next time, sending you strength, sending you hope, and sending you